using this Google Colab that we can work with the data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence by using Python programming. Without downloading Python or Anaconda in our system, without downloading the libraries or packages in our system, without having a good configuration in our system, okay, that we can work with this data science and Python by using this Google Colab, right? So how to open this Google Colab? How to create the account in this Google Colab means if you have a Gmail account, then we can open this Google Colab. Google Colab by default it is going to connect with our Gmail account, right? So simply go to Google and then type Google Colab, or simply if you type Colab also, you'll get an official website, that is colab.research.google.com. This is the official website. So let us observe here. So this is the official website of this Google Colaboratory. If you type Google Colab or Colaboratory, so in the first page only that you can find the official site of this colab.research.google.com. So this is the homepage of this Google Colab. So once confirm that you connected with your mail ID or not. So by default, it is connected with your mail ID. If you saved your Gmail to your Chrome, otherwise, let us click on and then sign in with your Gmail ID and password, right? Now, this Google Colab will not depend on our processor, or it will not depend on our CPU. Google Colab is having its own RAM and its own processor unit. So let us check here. So here, if you observe, it is connected to Python 3 Google Compute Engine backend, and they are giving 12.72 GB RAM. 12.72 GB RAM, and the processor, it is GPU, not CPU. They are providing graphical processing unit. So if you want to buy a system with this configuration, 12 GB RAM and GPU and so, so it is very expensive. So without using any configuration, that we are going to work with the Google Colaboratory. By using this Google Colaboratory, that you can work with any device, that you can work with a laptop, that you can work with the tab, that you can work with the mobile, that you can work with the system, any one of the computing device that we can work, right? So no software is required. Even Python installation is also not required here. Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook, and so. So those things are not required. Just we'll connect with the Google Colaboratory. In short, we'll call it as a collab, and then that will work with this Google Colab. If it is not connected with the RAM and disk, simply click on this and then connect to the hosted runtime. So automatically it will connect with this host, and then they will provide a 12 GB RAM and some hard disk also that they will provide. So now how to open the file in this Colaboratory? Once we entered into this page, automatically one pop-up window will display. So there you can open the file or create the file and so. So let us observe here. Now I am going to open the file. File open means I not created any file here. So now I am going to create the new file. Click on the new notebook. So if you want to create a new file, so like this that we have to open. Once again, I will show to you. So file, click on the new file. So one new file will be opened like this. One new file will be opened like this. So this is the new file. So by default here we are having one box. So this box that we can call it is a cell. This box we can call it is a cell. It is same like Jupyter Notebook environment. Almost all the features is the same like a Jupyter Notebook. In this cell, we are having two types of cells. One is code cell and second one text cell. Code cell is used to write the Python code. It is used to write the Python code. Text cell is used to write the normal text like heading, subheading, some description, bullet points, if you want to add images, so and so. Okay, however, that will prepare the documents, whatever the features that you are having at the time of preparing the documents. So all these things that you can find in this text cell. So at the time we are going to use this text cell, right? Anyhow, by default, we are having one cell. That cell is code cell. If you want to, okay, add the cells, either it is a code cell or text cell, okay, by clicking on this plus code or plus text, that we can add number of cells in this notebook. Now, what is the name of the file here means the file name, it is by default it is untitled 0 and the extension it is IPYNB. Jupyter Notebook extension is also IPYNB only. So what is this IPYNB? Interactive Python Notebook. Jupyter Notebook Python file extension is IPYNB. So here Google Colaboratory notebook file extension it is IPYNB. Means the file which belongs to Jupyter Notebook that we can work here, or the file that what we are working here that you can open in the Jupyter Notebook also. Why? Because the extension is same. Let us start working on this. So this is the code cell, right? So now I want to take one heading. So for heading, okay, we are going to use this text cell. Text cell, just simply I'm writing data science and Python by Srinivas Reddy. See, here you can find two boxes. This is the editor box. This is the editor box. This is the preview box. Whatever that we are writing, whatever that we are editing here, that preview that you can observe here. See, now I want to bold the text. So I'm selecting this and I'm clicking on the bold. So next, the preview that you can observe in the right side. So whatever the features that I am adding, automatically it is going to take some code for bold or something like double star, okay, all this. Automatically that preview that you can observe in the right side. Now I am making into toggle heading by clicking on this key. So see in the right side, okay, it is showing the preview. So like this that you can, okay, take the, here we're having so many features, like you can, if you want to add images or if you want to make the text in the form of bullet points or number points and so and so, if you want to write some description about the project that what we are doing, so all these things that we can do here, right? And then click on any other cell. So now the heading is like this. So present the code cell is here and this is the text cell. So if you want to move the cells up and down, so here you can find the up arrow and down arrow by using these arrows that we can move. So now present I selected this cell, code cell. Now I am clicking this down. So the cell is moved to down. So like this that we can, okay, move the cells up and down. Move the cells up and down. Same like Jupyter Notebook only. Same features that we are having in the Google Colab also. See, now I'm going to write some code, Python program to print hello world. So the code I am writing, print hello world. Right. So this is the code. Now I want to execute this. How to execute this cell means already that we know the shortcuts in the Jupyter Notebook, the same shortcuts that we can use here. First it is, so if you want to select with mouse, click on play icon. Click on play icon. Or by using shortcut, Control plus Enter. Alt plus Enter. Shift plus Enter. So these are all the shortcuts that we are having. Already that you know that what is the Control Enter, what is the Alt Enter, what is the Shift Enter, right? So now click on this play icon. If you click on this play icon, that cell will execute and then it will returns the output here itself. So the same thing if you want to execute with the shortcut Control plus Enter. Otherwise, if you want to create one new cell with execution, so then it is Alt Enter. Otherwise, if you want to move to the next cell with execution, then we have to use the Shift plus Enter, right? So these are all the shortcuts that we are having so that we can use depends on our need. So I'm clicking on this run button. Let us observe here. Now it is okay starting. It is in execution. So once the execution is completed, it returns the output here itself. That is hello world. So like this that you can execute the code. And if you want to take the cells just by clicking on this plus code, depends on your requirement, text cell or code cell. So we can take the cells like this. Python program to see while writing automatically it is giving some a suggestion about the functions or something. Add two numbers. Same whatever the code that we written in the Jupyter Notebook, same I'm writing here just for knowing the environment of this Google Colaboratory. A comma B equals to 10 comma 20. So I'm printing the addition of this to A plus B. See, I'm writing print function. I'm using print function automatically. It is giving a suggestion that, okay, automatically it is showing the, automatically it is giving the information about the print function. See, once again, let us check it. So once if I open this bracket, function brackets, automatically it is providing information about the print function, right? Based on this syntax that we can work easily. So at the time of writing the code, no need to worry about the syntaxes, arguments, and so and so. Just by taking the help of this, okay, that we can work here itself. Now let us execute. I'm using Control Enter. So to execute the current cell. Otherwise, if you want to create a new cell with execution, Alt Enter. Otherwise, if you want to move to the next cell with execution, Shift Enter. So these things that we'll use. And this 1, 2 already that you know what is this 1, what is this 2. So this is the execution, okay, numbers, sequence of execution numbers, right? So here it is untitled.0, right? If you want to change this, you can change. I'm changing data science and Python. So this extension is mandatory. That is .ipynb. .ipynb. Now, how to save this file? How to save this file? So no need to worry about saving this file. Automatically, the file will be saved in the Google Drive. So no need to save from our side. By default, it is going to save in the Google Drive with all changes, with all updates. Even if you close it directly or due to some power problem or system struck or some problems, no need to worry. Whatever the code that we written up to the last line, everything is stored in the Google Drive. And also we're having so many features. So if you start practicing, then you can learn, all these features, what it contains. Say for moving or something, for attaching something, if you want to delete the cells, If you go to these menus, you can find so many options here. Like if you want to create a new or open, if you want to upload any one of the notebook. So if you want to rename, if you want to delete it, if you want to copy one, okay, with the same file, or save is control S, you can save. Otherwise, by default, it will save. It is not a problem. So if you want to download this IPYNB file with an extension IPYNB, otherwise, if you want to download the file with the Python extension that is normally .py. So like this, we are having so many features. If you want to, okay, select the cells, cut the cells, copy, paste, and so and so. So if you want to insert the code cell, text cell, if you want to run all the cells or the cells which you selected or so and so. So all these things that you can learn by using this Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook with practice only, right? So if you want to share the file, you can share the file. So like this, that we are having so many features. If you want to learn in depth about this Google Colaboratory, Google Colaboratory will provide one default file that is welcome to Colaboratory. Here we can find the entire information of this Google Colab, how to take the help, what is this Google Colaboratory, okay, how it is going to support to work with the data science projects, how to work with the machine learning, okay, and also they will provide some examples to work with this machine learning, how to visualize the data. So here in this entire document that we can observe the, okay, how to use this data science, machine learning, and so many resources that they will provide to work with the notebooks. Right. So this is one of the future that we are having if you not have a good configuration system with you. 12 GB RAM with the GPU processor with some drive, okay, with free of cost they will provide. So this is about the Google Colaboratory. Now, in which environment that we are going to work? See, already that we observe that Python is there, Anaconda is there, Google Colab is there, okay, that we can work with any environment. What are the different types of modes that we are having? That is Python programming modes. Here we are having two types of modes. One is interactive mode. Second one, scripting mode. Interactive, already that we know that what is an interactive. So Python is one of the interactive programming language without using any other third-party editors. Directly that we are going to work with the Python prompt, or we can call Python console. But coming to the scripting mode, here we are going to use some of the editors, whether it may be Python IDLE, integrated development learning environment, or you can take a spider, okay, whatever the editors, extra editors that we are using, so that we can call it is a scripting mode. Otherwise, if you want to take any one of the text editor like a notepad or wordpad, so then we will consider it is a scripting mode. So let us observe here, what is this interactive mode and what is this scripting mode, right? So first we are going to discuss about the interactive mode. We are going to learn the subject in the interactive mode. And later we are going to use the IDEs, whether it is a Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook or Spider or so and so. So let us observe here how to work with the interactive mode. So once if you install the Python in your system, right? So then we will check, okay, whether it is installed or not by using command prompt, right? So once if you enter into the Python in the prompt, that is Python prompt, this is the interactive mode. See, simply I entered into the Python. And I'm going to start writing the code. Okay, if I want to print hello world. I'm not using any third-party editors here. I'm not depending any editors like a notepad or wordpad or so and so. Directly, I open the Python console, that is Python prompt, and I'm sitting in front of this Python prompt. I'm interacting, I'm writing the code. So that is the reason, okay, we are saying it is an interactive Python programming. And also it is interpreted. Interpreted means without compilation directly, that we can execute the code line by line. If you click on enter, the line will be executed and then it returns the output like this. So very simple. So this type of mode that we can call it is an interactive mode. See, at the time of writing a print function or something, I'm not getting any help here. So manually that we have to write each and every function with arguments. So first we have to prepare and then we have to work with this interactive mode. But here it is not possible to save the code. It is not possible to reuse the code. It's not possible to edit the code or something. See, already I assign a comma b equals to 10 comma 20. Whenever I move to the next line, this line is executed. Why? Because it is an interpreted. So now if I want to change, again I have to write the code. It is not an, okay, like editor go to back and then delete it or something and so and so. Okay, those type of features is not available here. To work with the scripting mode. Scripting mode means in the name itself, okay, here we require some script for writing the code. That you can take any one of the text editor. So now I'm going to use one text editor, that is Notepad, for writing the code. So let us observe here. Right. So some of the steps that you have to follow at the time of scripting mode, it is better to note from your side. So first step, first we have to open the Notepad and then write the code. After writing the code, we have to save with an extension that is .py. So the steps let us follow. Open the text editor. Any one of the editor, I am taking Notepad. Save the file with extension .py. And the location is also very important where you are saving. And the location is also very important in which location that you are saving. Why? Because at the time of execution, we are going to execute based on this location only, right? So next, open the command prompt, and then set the location. If you save the file in the current working directory, then it is okay. No need to set. By default, it is in the current working directory. The path is set with the current working directory. So if the file is saved in the current working directory, no need to set the path directly that we can execute. So how to execute the code means the syntax it is Python space filename.py is the execution. So let us see here. I'm going to take one new notepad. I'm taking one new notepad. So this is one new notepad. And start writing the code. A comma b equals to 10 comma 20. Print a plus b. So that is your wish. However, that if you want to write the code, you can write it. Otherwise, I want to write the code in detail, like a step by step. So I'm writing the comment. Python program to add two numbers. So I'm taking that a equals to 100, b equals to 200, and then I'm taking some variable for doing the addition of this a plus b, and finally I'm printing this c. So now I'm going to save the code. File, save. In which location that you are saving, that it is very important. Without knowing the location, it is not possible to execute. in which location that you are saving, it is very important. So present I am saving this file in the desktop location. In my desktop I am saving. At the time of saving the code, okay, so here you have to give the file name. The file name I am giving add dot, file name is add, the extension is .py. And it is better to change the save as type. Why? Because by default it is going to save with .txt. So it is better to change this save as type to all files and then click on this save. Click on this save. So the file is saved with the file name, it is add. If you go to the properties and then check it, so the file, it is a Python file. Why? Because that we saved the file with an extension that is called .py. .py. So if you want to do some edit, or if you want to, okay, update the code, you can do here. Why? Because it is the scripting mode that you can update as per our convenience. But in interactive, it is not possible to do all this, right? So again, we have to write the code. Right. Now, let us start execution. So for execution, what we have to do? We have to open the command prompt and then we have to set the location. So I'm entering into I'm opening the command prompt. So now we have to set the location. Why? Because by default here, the path is current working directory. So this is the current working directory. If the file is saved in this directory, okay, directory that we can execute by Python space filename.py. But file is not available in the current working directory. So if I execute, what it will happen, let us check it. So I am executing Python add.py. So I am getting an error that is cannot open the file, that is add.py. Why? Because no such file or directory in that path. There is no file. File is available in the desktop. Right? So here we have to change the path by using command that is called cd command. Cd means change directory. Our file is available on the desktop. So now I am changing the path. See, previous this is the path. Now the path is changed with the desktop. So our file is also available in the desktop. So now we can execute it. Python space file name is add.py. So now it is executed and it is returning the output. It is 300. So like this, that we can update the code. Like this, that we can write the code in simple way. And also if you want to reuse the code, we can reuse. If you want to do some updations, see now I'm taking 500. I'm updating the code. 800. I'm saving. Control S. Once again, go to here. Now, once again, execute it. Python add.py. So the code is executed with the updated values. Right? So this is the difference that we are having in between the interactive mode and the scripting mode. So maximum that we will prefer to work with the scripting mode only. Why? Because it is having so many features. Right? So in this scripting mode, again, we are having some advanced integrated development environments like a Jupyter Notebook, Spider, Google Colab, and so and so. So we are going to prefer the IDEs. Right? So as per our discussion initially, that we are going to very few sessions that we are going to work with the interactive mode. From your side also, it is better to do the practice in the interactive mode instead of using, okay, directly Jupyter Notebook or Notepad or Google Colab. Okay, so few days it is better to work with the interactive mode. Right. So next, keep adding identifiers. Next, keep adding identifiers. So what is an identifier? Means identifier is a name. Identifier is a name in Python programming. So what name means? It can be any class name, function name, module name, or a variable name. Okay, any one of the name that we can consider as an identifier. For example, a equals to 10. What is the meaning? 10 is the value, a is the variable, this equal is the operator. So based on this expression, what we are doing here means we are assigning the value 10 to the variable a, right? So any one of the name in the Python program that we can call it is a identifier. So if you want to define the identifiers in Python, we have to follow some rules. Without knowing these rules, it is somewhat difficult to work with the any one of the name. Mostly we are going to use the variables, right? First, we have to know that what are the rules that we are having. So why? Because why I'm saying like this means, so let us observe here. Let us observe. Now I'm taking one variable, a equals to 100. Okay, no problem. It is executed. Why? Because a is the valid variable. It is the valid identifier. Now I'm creating a variable with the name 2a equals to 200, but it is not accepting. 2a is not considering as a variable. Why? Because 2a is a invalid variable. So what I'm saying here means here we have to know some of the rules at the time of defining the identifier, right? So what are the rules that we have to means? Okay, the variable will allows the alphabet symbols. So please note these points. It is better to respond from your side also. Try to answer whether it is a valid or invalid. If you are feeling it is a valid, please type V in the chart. Otherwise, type I in the chart. I indicates that it is invalid. V indicates it is a valid. Now, ABC equals to 100. ABC equals to 100. Right. It is a valid. A, B, C equals to 100. Okay. So the variable name that we have to take in a single word, in a single word. So here A, B, C is having some spaces in between. So it is invalid. It is invalid. ABC 2 equals to 100. ABC 2 equals to 100. Yes, no problem. It allows the numerical values. Why? Because just now that we discussed that, it accepts the digits from 0 to 9. 0 to 9. Okay, it will accept. But if you start the variable with the numerical value, it will not accept. This is the condition that we have to follow. Identifiers should not start with the digits. This is very important. Now, A equals to 100. If I print to return this A value like this, then what is the output? What is the value of this A? Yes, please. Here, it is error. Why? Because small a is different, caps A is different. It is a case sensitive. Python is a case sensitive, right? Now, def equals to 100. Def equals to 100. It is also invalid. Why? Because def is one of the reserved keyword. Def is one of the reserved keyword. So here we have to know that what are the reserved keywords also. But I will show you that how to check the reserved keywords. total 35 result keywords that we are having. Then I will show you that how to check the list of these 35 result keywords. So it will not accept result keywords also. Now I'm taking one variable with lengthy variable equals to 100. It is very lengthy. So here I'm taking this many A's as a single variable name. Now, yes, we don't have any problem even if you take the lengthy variable also. So it is accepting. There is no length limit for Python identifiers, but not recommended to use too lengthy identifier. Why? Because again, at the time of printing this, we have to use that much of lengthy variable name, right, for returning the value. So it is not recommended. But anyhow, Python will accept the lengthy. There is no limit, right? So it will accept. Now, a underscore equals to 100. Yes, it will accept. Why? Because underscore it will accept. A underscore B underscore C equals to, yes, it will accept. 1 ABC equals to 100. So it will not accept, right, with numerical. So underscore 1A equals to 100. So it will, it will accept. Why? Because a single underscore indicates that it is the private variables. Okay, so underscore it will accept. These variables it will consider as a private variables. Right? So these are all the things that we have to know. See, other than underscore, if I use any other a dollar equals to 100, it will not accept. Why? Because special character only one, that is underscore. Other than that, it will not accept the any other special character. Do one thing, let us practice all these things from your side. If you practice with more examples, then you will get in-depth subject on these concepts. Next, assignment, variable assignment. How to assign the values? Simple. A equals to 10. A equals to 10. The meaning here, the value 10 we are assigning to the variable A. What type of assignment it is? It is a single value to the single variable. A single value that we are assigning to the variable, that is A. Similarly, we are having some types of assignments here. A comma B equals to 10 comma 20. How many values that we are assigning? Two values that we are assigning to the two variables, that is multiple values to the multiple variables. A equals to B equals to C equals to 10. A single value that we are assigning to the multiple variables. 10 we are assigning to the A, B, C at a single time. A comma B comma, already we taken, right? A equals to 10 comma 20 comma 30, multiple values that we can assign to a single variable. So these are all the types of assignment. So depends on our requirement that we are going to assign the value. So let us check it. A equals to 10, single value to single variable. A comma B comma C equals to 10 comma 20 comma 30. No other programming languages will support this type of syntax. Python, in a single line, it is assigning all the values to the all the variables. A equals to B equals to C equals to 10. Single value to the multiple variables. A equals to 10 comma 20 comma 30. Multiple values to the single variable. Right? So like this, that we can assign the values to the variables. Let us check the reserved keywords, that what are the reserved keywords that we are having in the Python. So if you know these reserved keywords, then you can work with entire Python programming. Then you can work with the entire Python programming. Right? So let us observe here how to check these reserved keywords in the Python. How to check the reserved keywords. So what is the actually this reserved keywords means? In Python, some words are reserved. So these words represent some meaning or functionality. So such type of words that we can call it is the reserved words. Total we are having 35 reserved words here. So let us observe. Okay, if you want to return these reserved words by using one attribute that is called KW list is the attribute that we are having. Here you can find the list of reserved words. But directly if you work with this KW list, it will not return. Why? Because KW list is one of the attribute, it contains in one of the module. So if you import that module, then only it is possible to work with this KW list, right? So for that, what we will do means, I will show you. See here, I am trying to return this KW list directly. It is not returning. Why? Because KW list is not defined. Means that we are not defining this KW list is belongs to which module. Actually, KW list is the attribute belongs to one of the module that is called keyword. So we have to return like this KW list, even though it will not return. Why? Because this time, specifying that KW list is the attribute which belongs to the, that is module keyword. So see, now also it is not defining. What we have to do means, first you have to import the keyword, and then that you can work the functions or attributes, whatever it is, which belongs to the keyword module. So first import keyword. After importing, let us work the attribute that is KW list. So here you can find the 35 reserved keywords. So these are all the 35 reserved keywords that we are having, right? So if you know about these 35 reserved keywords, so then we can work with the entire Python programming. See, false, none, true. These we are going to use at the time of working with the Boolean values. Like some of the functions are there, if, keywords that is if, else, else if. So these are for decision making. Okay, we are going to use. Like while, for, break, continue, some words are there at the time of looping the statements will use it. Try, except, finally, raise, some words are there. So these words that we'll use at the time of working with the exception handling, right? So if you know all this, so that we can work with entire Python programming. So it is better to by heart these 35 reserved keywords. Why? Because without knowing that what is the reserved keyword, if you try to take this as a variable name, then it will not accept, right? So it is better to by heart these 35 reserved keywords in the Python. Next, one of the important concept, that is data types in Python. Already in the futures of this Python that we discussed, that Python is a dynamic typed programming language. Python is a dynamic typed programming language. The meaning here it is, no need to declare the data types from our side. By default, Python is going to take care about the data types. For example, if you want to assign some value to the variable in other programming languages, it is mandatory to define that, it is a integer data type. It is mandatory that to declare that 10 is the integer. It is mandatory to declare that 10.5 is the float. But in Python, no need to declare the data types from our side. Python is having the capability. Why? Because it is a dynamic typed language. Python will declare the data types at the time of assigning. Simply, we will assign the values like this, right? Already that we know it is a dynamic type. That too, no need to declare the data types from our side. Then again, why we are going to discuss about these data types in this Python? So that we know that we are going to work with the data in the data science projects, analysis projects, either it is a whatever it is, okay, completely we are going to depend on the data. As a data scientist or a data analyst or a Python developer, first we have to know the in which type the data is the storing. First we have to know the in which format internally that it is stored. At the time of processing, at the time of analyzing, at the time of preparation, if you want to do some process on this data, if you want to change the data types from one data type to another data type, as a analyst that we have to know the concept that is called data types. Even Python is a dynamic type of programming language. Okay, as an analyst that we have to know the what is the data type, what are the data types that we are having in the Python. Right? So we are having some of the list of data types. Okay, in the first it is integer, int, it is an integer. Integer means only integer only. We don't have okay multiple integers like in a C or Java programming languages. There we are having again some different integers like a long int, short int, signed int, unsigned int, and so and so. Approximately 10 to 12 integer types okay is there. But in Python, we are having only one data type, that is integer data type only, int. Right? So let us start working with this integer. So before working with this integer data type, so it is better to know the some inbuilt functions in this Python. We're having so many inbuilt functions. Let us observe. For returning the value, we are going to use the print function, right? So to print the value. Similarly, if you want to check the type of the variable, means internally which data type it is stored, means by using this type of function that we can check it. Similarly, if you want to get the address of this okay object, address of this value by using id function. Right? So first let us observe this inbuilt functions. Why? Because here we are going to work with these inbuilt functions on this integer. Print is used to return the value. Type is to check the type of the variable. id is to check the address of the okay value. Now I'm taking a equals to 100. The value I'm assigning to the variable a, 100 assigning to a. So if I want to print this by using a print function that we can print, if I want to check the type internally, what is the data type means, by using this type function, we can return that it is an integer data type. If you want to check the address, this is the address. So operating system will take care regarding this address internally, okay, where it is storing and something. Address means, see, here a equals to 10 means our intention is to store the 10 into the system. Our intention is not to create the variable, right? So in this, the storing process, at the time of assigning the 10 to the variable a, internally what it will happen means, in the memory, it will check the free space. In that free space, 10 is the store. In that free space, 10 is the store. So in which location it is stored? That location is having some address, right? So that address is holding by the variable a. Whenever that we are going to returning this a, whenever we are going to printing this a at the time, okay, based on the address, it is going to return the value 10. Right? Now, my question here, it is one of the important concept, this concept that we have to know each and every data type. In each and every data type that we have to know whether this data type is belongs to mutable or immutable. Whether this data type is belongs to mutable or immutable. So what is the meaning of the mutable? Can you please open the chart and then type what is the meaning of the mutable? General, I don't want any definitions. I'm not expecting any definitions. Simple, generally, what is the meaning of the mutable? What is the meaning of the immutable? Mutable. Mutable is the changeable. What is the meaning of the mutable means? It is a changeable. Immutable means not changeable, right? My question here it is, integer is a mutable data type or immutable data type? See, actually, what is the meaning? What is the meaning? A equals to 100. If I print this A, it returns it is 100. If I change the value of this A to 200, okay, now if I print it is returning it is 200. My question here it is, integer is a mutable or immutable? Integer data type is belongs to mutable or immutable? Let us observe the concept. What is mutable and what is immutable means? A equals to 10. Already we discussed that. Our intention is to store the value 10 into the system. Whenever if you want to perform some operation on the value, whenever if you want to return the value, at the time that we are going to, okay, use the address of this variable. That is just by printing A internally with the address, it will return. Right? Now, A is assigned to the variable A. At the time of assigning, it is holding some address, right? That address is this ID. So you can return by using this ID. Now, what I am doing here means I'm taking that A equals to 20. A equals to 20. So at that time, 20 is assigning to the variable A. 20 is assigning to the variable A. What is my intention? I want to update the value 20 in the A. Already A is having some address. My intention is that I want to update in the address of A. So now whatever the ID that we are having, if these two IDs are same, then it is mutable. Why? Because it is changed in that location. Otherwise, if it is having the different ID, means different ID means it is created, not updated. If it is updated in the same address, then it is mutable. Otherwise, if it is created, a new ID it is created means it is not updated on the existing address. At the time that we can consider it is the immutable. So let us check the IDs, then we'll okay confirm that. Okay, so I'm taking that A equals to 10. So if you print it returns it is the 10. Even if you check the type also, it is integer only. Check the ID of this, this is some address. The operating system will take care regarding this address. So now I'm updating 20. If you print it is 20, if you check the type, it is integer only. Now I'm checking the ID. So let us observe here. If you observe the same ID, then it is mutable. Otherwise, if it is having the different address, then it is immutable. See, it is 736,056 means It is not changing, it is creating. Now, please respond. Integer is a mutable or immutable? Yes, it is a immutable data type. Integer is a immutable data type.